Right, we're here to work our way through creating a character for the RPG Monster of the Week. It's really quite an ingenious process. It's part collaborative and part choose-your-own-adventure type of thing. Now, each player in the game gets a different archetype of character, and you get your own playbook that you have to work your way through to create a character. Now, in this case, I've got open in front of me the Monstrous Playbook. Now, only one player at the table is going to be playing a monstrous type character. So only that person, rather, will have this PDF to work through. Or I suppose you'll print it out, but we're going through the PDF. So this monster hunter, the monstrous type of character, is in fact a monster himself, but he's got a good side, apparently. So here onto the second page. It says, first of all, pick a name. Well, that's not strictly true. You start as a group with a collaborative decision. You decide what sort of a group are you. For instance, are you a government agency, or are you a group of, I don't know, long-lost friends who've got back together and discovered a terrible monster plague? But once you've made that decision, then you come in here. As it says, pick a name, and then you'll write your name over here on the right. And then you work your way through these sections as you build up your character. And this is where the choose your own adventure bit comes in. Pick one from each line and write it over here on the right. Obviously the first choice, man, woman, keep your sex concealed, or a transgressive. I have no idea what that means. Then you have to pick one of these from this second section. So you have a sinister aura, a powerful aura, a dark aura, unnerving aura, pleasant, energetic, or evil aura. So that's already starting to build a type of character. I quite like that. You've got an aura in this case. Now, these decisions will be different depending on what archetype you're playing. Here, you're choosing an aura. With another type of character, it could be a type of attitude or anything, really. But next up, we have a choice of clothing by the looks of it. And again, you just pick one of these. Are you in archaic clothing? Is your monster from the past? Casual modern clothes, ragged clothes, tailored clothes. Tailored clothes. I suppose you might be a rather stylish vampire. Anyway, once you've done that, you move on to the next section, which is ratings. Now, these are your stats, if you like. These are the strength, constitution, and dexterity that you'd have in Dungeons and Dragons. In this case, they're charm, cool, sharp, tough, and weird. Now, what you do is you pick one row from this set of stats. So it's quite interesting. Like, I could choose this one here, and I'd have +2 charm, meaning I'm quite a charismatic character. I'd have 0 cool, -1 sharp, which is like intelligence, -1 toughness, but I would have +3 weird, and weird is used for things like magic. But there's a whole range of stats, and you literally pick one of these, and then over here on the right, you circle that stat. And then you move on to the next section down here. In this case, it says breed. So you get to say you're half human, half monstrous. Decide if you were always half a monster or if you were originally human and transformed. Then you have to decide if you were always fighting for good, and so on. There's another question here, and then, oh crikey, create the monster you want to be. Okay, that's interesting. So they've got some suggestions here. You're not limited to just choosing between werewolf, ghost, fairy, demon, zombie. So all the choices, yeah. But these are suggestions, so you can come up with your own type of monstrous character. Now, over here, as you're a monstrous character, you're going to have a curse, and quite nicely they give you 4 to choose from, but you just simply pick one of these. For instance, you might have to feed on humans quite frequently, which might be difficult if the rest of the party are human. After that, you get down here, it's another choose your own adventure section. Pick 2 of these types of attack. So obviously they've got teeth here that do 3 harm or 3 damage when you're at intimate range. That's, you've got hold of them. And you get to choose 2 of these types of attack, which you can then write into the box here. Now it says you get all of the basic moves. The basic moves aren't mentioned here, but a basic move is something you'd roll a dice for. Perhaps you were doing an investigation, trying to manipulate somebody, that sort of thing. So you get 5 of those basic moves. And then you get to pick 2 monstrous moves from this list below. Each of these has a special ability, and some of them even have particular values you need to roll when you're doing the dice. But in this case, you could be extra fast, you could have claws, or you could be like a ghost, incorporeal. So we move on down here. Gear. You can pick one of these handy weapons. So you could pick a revolver, a 9mm, a magnum, a shotgun. Obviously these stats are next to them. So for instance, a sword does 2 harm. You have to be at hand-to-hand range. It can be messy. I like that. Okay, so you've gone through the choose your own adventure stage. You're now into the next part of the collaborative thing. Basically, you've got a set of options or relationships to other characters here. And as it says here, you go around the group, and when it's your turn, you pick one of these for each of the other hunters. So let's say a hunter is another PC. So here you could say you lost control one time and almost killed this PC. And now I ask them how they managed to stop me on that occasion. So you're building up a relationship. You're building a reason for these characters, these PCs, to form a party. It's really quite clever. And all the different archetypes have different history items here. So they're not all going to be repeated as you go around the group. Everybody can't select the same sort of option. I think that might be it here now. Your character has a series of luck, which you can use to change dice rolls, but when that's gone, you're in trouble. Yep, and there's your health track when you're levelling up. I suppose I'll carry on here. This isn't initial character generation, it's for once you get enough experience and you're levelling up, as it were. You get to choose more adventures, more adventures. You get to choose more options for your character. For instance, here there's some stat changes. Here there's you can take additional attacks, so your character is changing and growing. And then there's advanced improvements, and that's it. So in this 4-page PDF, you get a nice picture of your monster at the beginning. Then you go through the choose your own adventure and write the results of that into this box here. And then you go around the other characters in the group and you build a relationship with all of them. And that's it. That's Character Gen for Monster of the Week.